All right, you got some of the recording, Jonathan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, me too, just for posterity. John, for posterity, he's another part-time shot. Are you ready?
Yes.
Is it working okay? I haven't checked yet. Yeah. Okay, excellent. Well, then let's welcome Jonathan.
Some of you may not be aware, but right now is a great time to be alive. We were lucky enough to be born on our birthday so that we could experience the wonders of the digital revolution, the information age, a time where we can talk to our friends across the world instantaneously in the comfort of your own home, whether it be through a computer or a device that we all have in our pockets right now, which is also your watch, your calendar, telephone, TV, music, photo albums, camera, you name it. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the 21st century. And we owe it all to the progression of our knowledge in math and science. Yes, the two subjects that everyone hated in high school. But because of them, because of math and science, where people often ask the question, what will we ever use this for? How does this apply to life? Well, the answer to that is everything. Ooh. This is what keeps our planes in the sky and what allows us to build skyscrapers thousands of feet high. This is the backbone of modern technology and all of electronics. And we are in debt to the scientific organizations that devote all of their time and money to things like this. And one of the most distinguished, prominent ones of them all is currently underfunded. And that, my friends, is NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. So today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about a few things. The first being the decline of funding for NASA. Then I'm going to go over what NASA has done for us and what we can do for them. So without further ado, let's begin with NASA's budget. So NASA was originally founded in 1958, not for exploration purposes, but for war. Can anyone here recall the war that was going on in the 50s? Cold War? Yes, the Cold War with the Soviet Union. You see, according to an article on the History Channel's website called Cold War, Russia was the first country to successfully launch an intercontinental ballistic missile, alongside with the world's first successful mission of launching a human-made spacecraft in orbit. So when we connected the dots and we found that they were able to launch a nuclear warhead into space that could land and wreak havoc on US soil, we were shitting ourselves, and we founded NASA in 1958. So with that said, let's look at the fluctuation of NASA's budget. Here's a graph that was taken from HuffingtonPost.com under an article called NASA is no longer a priority. And as you can see here, NASA received the most of its funding around the mid-60s, the peak of the space race. And towards the end of the 70s, when the space race competition started to become less of an issue to us, they cut the funding almost immediately. And today, NASA receives less than a penny on the US tax dollar. Less than a penny. And surprisingly enough, they're still able to accomplish great things. But aside from the funding, what the government didn't realize was that NASA was able to achieve more than they could ever imagine, which is what I'm going to discuss next. For hundreds of years, humanity could only dream of visiting and ultimately living on another planet. When the astronauts landed on the moon, they did something that has never been done in human history, an expedition that everyone considered to be impossible. But they did it. They did the unthinkable, and what they did inspired our nation to innovate and to develop state-of-the-art technology. But it's not just about space. They've done plenty of other great things too. According to an article on spinoff.nasa.gov titled Breast Cancer Detection, technology that was originally developed at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory is now incorporated with detecting breast cancer. A company titled Omni Technologies is developing technology that utilizes an infrared photodetector that was initially designed for exploring other planets, is now being used for detecting breast cancer. So as you can see, NASA isn't just about space. It touches other aspects of our lives as well. So you may be thinking to yourself, wow, Jonathan, how can I help? How can I contribute to such an effort? Well, there's a website called pennyfornasa.org where you can go on this website and there's a link where you can take action and sign an online petition to doubling NASA's budget to 1 full penny on the US tax dollar. That's all we're asking for. It takes less than 5 minutes. You guys can do this at home as soon as you're done with this class. And doubling that budget would be enough to go to Mars soon with people, back to the moon, and onto asteroids. So in conclusion, we are in a critical point in time right now. We have the choice to ultimately destroy ourselves in the conflicts of war, or to expand and allow our civilization to continue to grow. This is bigger than a leap for humankind. It's the beginning of an everlasting growth for all of us. Thank you.
All right, so some questions for John. Any questions?
You want to go to space?
Yeah, I would, but I don't necessarily want to be like an astronaut, but I'll go.
What if it costs money? What would be the max you would spend to go to space?
Well, if I ever become like a millionaire when I grow up, it wouldn't matter, but if I get like some average paying job, I guess it would depend on who my situation is. Yeah.
Scholarships.
Yeah, hopefully.
Anyone else? For some feedback?
So you had a really strong introduction. You had a lot of passion at the beginning too.
Thank
I
you.
like that. Good visuals and eye contact. Not too much looking at your note cards. Very clear topic transitions, things like that. Your humor is pretty funny and really strong landing. Didn't really find it negative.
Well, yeah, he like took everything, but you had like really great energy. So it was really good. So it was like 5 to 2.
You scared me into listening.
I'll definitely say, damn. Yeah. That's my feedback.
Thanks.
I'm glad I'm not following you.
Suggestions? No suggestions?
I think you did amazing. I think the only thing that you probably could have done was look on that side of the room more.
Yeah, I kind of felt like I was just pointed in this direction.
You could have slowed down also like a little bit because you still did have some time.
Yeah. It was funny because when I was practicing, I ended up going at like 6 minutes and 30 seconds, so I thought I had to speed it up, but I guess not.
Maximum time is like 7.
Any other suggestions? Well, delivery is fantastic, information was fantastic, sources were great. I didn't hear proposition policy, and I didn't hear you follow the format we're asking you to follow, you know?
Right.
It's the problem is.
Well, I sort of
Well, I don't
mentioned.
need to say anything, I'm giving you feedback.
Oh, okay.
And so, I don't know, it's so terribly sad when somebody does such a great job but doesn't actually do the assignment as it was assigned. So, anyway, you got a lot of potential, you know, and if this were an informative speech with a little bit of influence involved, it would have been fantastic. But it was an open sequence design speech, and it really goes. There are 5 steps to it. I didn't hear them.